The Slender Man is an alleged paranormal figure purported to have been in existence for centuries, covering a large geographic area. Believers in the Slender Man connect his appearances with many other legends around the world, including Feardefor, the Dark Man in Scotland, the Dutch Takenman Branch Man, and the German legend of Der Groman or Der Grossmann, the Tall Man. The Slender Man is a being, male in appearance, with extremely long, slender arms and legs. He also appears to have 4 to 8 long, black tentacles that protrude from his back. He is described as wearing a black suit, strikingly similar to the visage of the notorious Men in Black. As the name suggests, he appears very thin. He is able to stretch his limbs and torso to inhuman lengths in order to induce fear and ensnare his prey. Once his arms are outstretched, his victims are put into something of a hypnotized state where they are utterly helpless to stop themselves from walking towards him. He is also able to create tendrils from his fingers and back that he uses to walk on, in a similar fashion to Dr. Octopus. His superhuman stretching ability can also be seen as similar to Mr. Fantastic. Whether he absorbs, kills, or merely takes his victims to an undisclosed location or dimension is unknown, as there are never any bodies or evidence left behind in his wake to deduce a definite conclusion from. And his face is pale and slightly ghostly. It almost appears to have been wrapped in a type of gauze or cloth. His facial features are an object of debate. Many people believe that his face looks different to each person, if it is ever seen at all. He often keeps his hands crossed politely behind his back or hanging loosely at his sides. His suit is black, sometimes pinstriped in artwork, a common misconception thanks to the similar Jack Skellington from Nightmare Before Christmas. He has long coattails. He wears long dress shoes, which are always shined a perfect, gleaming black. Much of the fascination with Slender Man is rooted in the overall aura of mystery he is wrapped in. Despite the fact that it is rumored he kills children almost exclusively, it is difficult to say whether or not his only objective is slaughter. Oftentimes, it is reported that he can be found in sections of woods, which generally tend to be suburban. He also has been seen with large groups of children, as many photographs portray. It is commonly thought that he resides in woods and forests and preys on children from there. He seems unconcerned with being exposed in the daylight or captured in photos. It is often thought as well that he enjoys stalking people who become overly paranoid about his existence, purposefully giving them glimpses of himself in order to further frighten them. For this reason, it seems like Slenderman very much enjoys psychologically torturing his victims. He also appears to float or drift around rather than walk, which suggests the possibility of him being an ethereal entity rather than a creature or man. This would also explain why he is able to remain mobile in spite of his poorly proportioned body. Fabricated on the Something Awful forums, some people have claimed sightings. He is apparently seen mostly at night, peering into open windows and walking out in front of lone motorists on secluded roads. His main intentions appear to be kidnapping children, as when he is seen near them in photographs, they usually disappear shortly afterwards. The Slender Man has also inspired many stories, such as those of marble hornets. In the end, though, his purpose remains unknown. On May 31, 2014, in the Milwaukee suburb of Waukesha, Wisconsin, the 12-year-old girls attempted to stab their classmate to death. Morgan Geyser and Anissa Ware's violence was extreme, but what seemed even more frightening was that they committed their crime under the influence of a figure born by the internet, the so-called Slender Man. Slender Man, online obsession, mental illness, and the violent crime of two Midwestern girls tells the full story for the first time in deeply researched detail. Using court transcripts, police reports, individual reporting, and exclusive interviews, Morgan and Anissa were bound together by their shared love of geeky television shows and animals, and their discovery of the user uploaded scary stories on the creepypasta website. Morgan was suffering from early onset childhood schizophrenia. She believed that she had been seeing Slender Man for many years, and the only way to stop him from killing her family was to bring him a sacrifice. Morgan's best friend Peyton Bella Leutner, who Morgan and Anissa planned to stab to death on the night of Morgan's 12th birthday. Bella survived the attack, but was deeply traumatized, while Morgan and Anissa were immediately remanded into jail. Every generation creates its own monsters. Folk tales tell of witches and worms in the woods. My TV-infused generation feared Jaws and Lakes and Bloody Mary in the mirror. This generation gets its monsters from the internet. Slender Man is a pure product of electronic media. He appears in places we rarely frequent these days: abandoned, crumbling halls, deep woods, a playground with a rickety steel jungle gems. He is a suburban ghoul with his own history and his own methodology, and, of late, he has become the object of controversy. Due to an attack in Wisconsin during which two girls stabbed another in order to appease Slender Man's dark needs. It was a horrible story, and it underlies how little we understand about the psychology of a generation weaned on the internet and how images can morph from fiction to fact in the course of half a decade. Slender Man first appeared on the Something Awful forums under a thread titled "Create Paranormal Images." One user, Slybite, said, "You just know a couple of the good ones are going to eventually make it to paranormal websites and be used as genuine." He was right. The first image of Slender Man, of a tall, out-of-focus figure next to a tree, was accompanied by a bit of text that sounds like the dialogue from a badly translated horror game. The Slender Man is a supernatural creature that is described as appearing as a normal human being, but he is described as being 8 feet tall, and he has vectors or extra appendages that are described to be as sharp as swords. The creature is known to stalk humans and cause many disappearances. He is described as a shadow creature that has missing a face. So what are your thoughts about the Slender Man creature? Please feel free to comment your thoughts below. I would like to thank you for joining me here today on my channel, Enlightenment in the Darkness. Please like and subscribe to my content. Many blessings to the rest of your day.